Continuing our week-long Beyond the Destruction series, marking 10 years since the May 20th tornado in Moore.
Shortly after the storm, our David Payne met a tow truck driver with an incredible story, and he never forgot it. And now, with the help of Facebook, David was able to track him down.
Gary Cahey owns Pat's Towing.
Moore's just always been my town. That's where I grew up.
He named his truck PT for Plaza Towers, the school where his daughter Sienna was on May 20th, 2013.
It's moving more easterly than northeasterly now.
You made mention of where the tornado was at and the path it was kind of taking.
Gary was at work about 2.5 miles away.
I didn't really say much to my wife or anything else. I just grabbed the vehicle and took off for Plaza Towers.
The sirens started going off, and we were all just rushed into the hallways, into the fetal position with textbooks over our heads.
My intention was to get to Plaza, get my daughter, and get out.
But when he got there, it was too late. The tornado was already nearly on top of them. He rushed into the school and found his daughter and her classmates lining the halls.
And I'm like, that's not going to work with this. I knew the 99 storm, and this was as bad as it. And I told him to get the kids in the bathrooms.
Gary says the violent tornado hit about 3 minutes later.
He had me back into the fetal position, and then he had kind of laid on top of me as a layer of protection.
We hunkered down in a corner, and I probably smothered her, but I was protecting her.
As we know, that school took a direct hit.
At one point, I remember one of the kids saying, "Is it over?" because it had quietened down and calmed down where we were at. And I remember looking up, and things were still spinning, and the storm was still on top of us.
A large brick hit Gary in the head, while a piece of granite fell on his ankle. But finally, the tornado passed.
I remember coming out of the bathrooms, and the entire hallway that we were in was just completely gone. There was just rubble everywhere, and the entire neighborhood was gone.
After helping pull kids and teachers out of the debris, Gary and Sienna walked to their house and discovered that it had also been hit by the tornado. Finally, the father and daughter made it to the Warren Theater, and Gary was able to get a hold of his wife.
Once I got my daughter to my wife, I collapsed. And they took me to the hospital in Norman.
7 children died in that school that day, but you have to wonder, how many more might have also lost their lives if it wasn't for Gary?
If he hadn't had come, would I have been here today?